The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Reaper Apparel Company. Reaper Apparel offers a casual line of superb fit, finish, and comfort. We design for those who refuse to die slowly and choose to live untamed. For those who aren't afraid to face the dark, for the ones that thrive in it, and for those who can appreciate life through a grim lens. That's Reaper Apparel Company. Go to the link in the description of this episode, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my own personal merch store, the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. I have hats, I have t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, water bottles, notebooks, you name it, I've got it. The description and the link for that will be in the description of this episode. Also, right now, if you use the promo code WELCOME, I will give you 5% off of your first purchase. That's the Stupid Should Hurt merch store. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Tactical Brotherhood, all American-made apparel, which helps support the Second Amendment. You can also find all this in the description of this episode with the link, Tactical Brotherhood. Part of every proceed does go to helping veterans, as it is a very good cause. All American-made products made right here in Minnesota. Go and check them out. Use the promo code PATRIOT15 to get 15% off your purchase. Now, let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. This is, as always, your host, Mike Bono. I have a great episode for us today, but just to remind everybody, peep all the sponsors that will be in the description of this. That is Reaper Apparel, Stupid Should Hurt, and Core Health Benefits. That being said, my guest today is a student at Bethany College. She just finished her finals, so we're going to be talking about that a little bit. Dani Williams joins the show. Dani, thank you for joining.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So I ask everybody this that goes to Bethany. So why did you choose Bethany as the college of choice?
I chose Bethany because, when I was probably a freshman and sophomore in high school, I always wanted to go to, a big SEC school. But then I got pretty good at running, so I decided I wanted to keep up with that, and I couldn't run, at an SEC school. So then I just started looking at, smaller schools around the area, and Coach Falcone actually worked in my high school and had been asking me to check out Bethany. So I decided to go down on a couple of visits, and I really liked it. And then I applied for some of the scholarships, and I got a lot of money to go there. So at the end, I really liked my coach, and I got the most money to go to Bethany, and they had my major. So,
what is your major?
I'm a chemistry major. So most schools have my major, but I'm chemistry on the biochemistry track and a pre-med focus.
Okay. So, my son decides every time I'm recording that he has to come and ask me a non-time dependent question. So excuse me for that.
It's all good.
Anyways, so chemistry major. A lot of schools have those, and obviously, I'm sure Johnny had a lot to do with you going to Bethany, as he did for a lot of people. So, what is the next step after Bethany with your chemistry major?
I would like to go to med school, preferably a DO school, to become a doctor of osteopathic medicine. I would like to end up either at LECOM in Lake Erie, Pennsylvania, or VCOM in Auburn. Either one of those schools, I would be happy to end up there to get my DO.
Okay. So I have to bring this up because I have to check Johnny's facts on this one. Auburn, is that because you're an Auburn sports fan, or is
it? It is. So actually, that's where I wanted to go for the longest time was Auburn, and then, I said, I wanted to run. But we're big Auburn fans here, and my middle brother, he's actually at Auburn right now. And if I get in to Auburn's med school, we would get to spend like 2 years there together. And then my littlest brother, I think, might end up at Auburn too. So we're big Auburn people.
So what made you Auburn people and Auburn fans?
So we have family down there. Okay. We've always visited them, like growing up. They have a lake house, like right outside of Auburn. And my great uncle, he's actually a professor there. So we'd been visiting them for a really long time. And it's just it's such a great school, and it's such a great area. So I'm glad with my choice at Bethany, but I hope I get to have like the Auburn feel too when I get to med school.
I definitely understand that. It's kind of, everyone makes fun of me. I'm originally from West Virginia, but my pro sports team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And no, for the new listeners, it's not when Tom Brady became. And no, let's get that out the way. I've been a fan since they wore the orange jerseys. It's fine. Mm-hmm. But I have an aunt that lives in Florida. Visit her all the time, and it stuck. I became a Tampa Bay fan. So I get it with the Auburn. It's definitely something that, you're passionate about, and you can definitely tell that too as well, because, my college team, I'm a Mountaineer fan, West Virginia. I think they kick you out of the state if you don't root for the Mountaineers in West Virginia. Yeah. So, what other schools did you visit besides Bethany?
I looked at Waynesburg a lot and Westminster, pretty much all PAC schools. But I think at the end it was between Bethany, Waynesburg, and W&J. Yeah, those three. But I didn't really like Waynesburg at the end, and then I didn't want to pay for W&J because that one's really expensive. And like I said, I really did like my coach the best at Bethany, and cost-wise, it was definitely the smartest move.
Yeah, I get that. The main reason for me, I am a Bethany alum, like Johnny. So, the main reason for me was I was a swimmer when I was in college, and through high school, I thought playing football my senior year instead of focusing on all the D1 scholarships I had for swimming was the better idea, and I hurt my shoulder, and I missed my senior year of high school swimming. And every college but Bethany dropped their scholarship.
Oh, dang.
So it does, because I was heading to WVU to swim for them, which would have been a dream of mine, but things change. It happens. You look back at stuff when you're 15, 16, 17 years old, and it's just like, that's such a smart, let's play football. Let's keep playing football. I have D1 scholarship offers, full rides. I won't have to pay for college. And
lesson learned the hard way, I suppose.
Yeah, you learn those the hard way. So if anybody is out there that's an athlete now that's listening to this, think before you make decisions. I know it's something that's tough when you're that age, but now that I'm in my 30s, I get to think back and be like, that was the dumbest thing I could have possibly ever done. I just zero student debt. Wow, what would that be like? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I brought up the swimming because you're also a two-sport athlete at Bethany right now. It's track and cross country.
Yep.
What is that like? Because I know what it was like for me with one sport, trying to keep up with classes, and I was in a fraternity, so everything else that was going along with that plus my sport. So what's it like being a two-sport athlete?
I've always been one who works better on a schedule. So having a pretty consistent practice schedule and meet schedule works well for me. But it is, you practice every day. You have, up until November, you'll have a meet pretty much every Saturday. And then when spring rolls around, you'll have one from January until finals. So you get used to it, but I personally really like it. It just keeps me in shape and gives me something to do. And just a little break throughout the day where you're not just focused on school all the time. But I really enjoy it.
Okay. And so you do both indoor and outdoor track, or just the indoor?
Yep. Both indoor and outdoor.
Okay. Because I believe, again, I have to check Johnny's facts on everything, but I'm sure he wouldn't lie about this. You own a record for the indoor track at Bethany College. Is that true?
Yep, that's true.
What event is it, and what is the record?
So it's the 1,000-meter indoor record, and I ran a 3:18 my freshman year. Well, I broke it twice. I ran a 3:23 first, and then we wanted to see like how much I could break it more. So then I ran a 3:18. And then I like to tease Coach Upton because I technically consider myself to have the mile record too, but I ran it on a 300-meter track, and the girl who broke it ran it on a 200-meter track. So when you convert my time, I'm 1 second off from breaking it. But I tell Coach Upton that I broke that one too.
Technicalities. No. Mm-mm.
Like, I ran faster. What is it? It doesn't matter if it was on. Who cares? Like, I broke it.
Time is time. I don't care what size the track was. Time is time. It's a mile, however you slice it.
And I told him if he would have watched the race, he would have seen that I ran the whole race in lane 2. So I definitely broke it.
If you would have been paying attention, Coach, you would.
Yeah, I told him that. Like, you didn't see me running in lane 2 the whole like 8 laps. Okay.
Coach Upton. He's a big fan of the show. He's been on the show. I love Coach Upton to death. It's
me too.
It's. I can almost hear his response to that. What was his response when you said that to him?
He's like, you'll get it. And I was like, well, I already got it. And he's like, nah, you got to do it on a 200 track next or something. Like, whatever.
Got it. So, you also participated in these sports during the pandemic. What was that like? I know track, it's not really, like, you can kind of quarantine yourselves away from everybody else, and cross country, I mean, you're outside in the fresh air. I get that, but what was it like with practices and everything like that for you?
So honestly, after so the pandemic hit my freshman year, and we were actually at Myrtle, and then we got sent home. And then when we came back in the fall, there was obviously like no sports at all. You would just like practice maybe like once or twice a week with the team, and then obviously you can run on your own. Like, that's a benefit of sport like cross country. And then when we came back, like after the new year that year, I got injured really badly. So I didn't compete much. But yeah, actually, I think I ran like 2 races that year. But it was, like you said, for track, it didn't really make a difference. More of the like differences and like, annoying things were seen like when we would get on the bus. Like, we had assigned seats, and you had to like wear your mask and just like all that stuff that made you feel like a little kid again. But yeah, there was nothing like too much changed like with cross country or track because you're outside. Oh yeah, there was no indoor. That's another thing. There was no indoor, but we had cross country. Season was like shifted to like end of February, all of March. But like I said, I didn't race, so that was kind of weird. And then outdoor was like pretty much completely normal.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to football players, basketball players, where you're going to be in contact with other human beings. So I didn't think there'd be much of a difference. And plus, I mean, you could always go and run on your own.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, your sports actually had the benefits, I guess, of the pandemic, if you will, because you could still participate in them, which, I mean, I guess if you break it down, swimming too, because I'm pretty sure chlorine kills everything.
Yeah.
As somebody who has basically lived in chlorine from the time he was 8 through college, I get it.
We didn't have swimming at my high school, but my best friend at Bethany right now, she is a swimmer, and she's like taught me a lot about swimming and everything, and she loves swimming. So I've learned a lot about swimming lately, but I've never swam competitively.
I was going to say, has she put you through a workout yet?
Yes, she did, actually, because I had to take the physical fitness, like Fed 102 to graduate from Bethany or whatever. And the final project was to do an activity you've never done before. And I didn't want to pay to like go do yoga somewhere. So I was like, hey, Ada, do you want to put me through a swim workout? And she was like, yeah, the warm up is 300 yards. And by the time I was halfway through the warm up, I was like, yep, this isn't for me. But she modified it and like we did I don't even know what it was. Like we did some kick sets and some 50 repeats with different speeds, even though my speed was one speed and it was slow. But I give a lot of credit to her and you and any swimmer because that is not easy.
I only asked that because when I was at Bethany, one of my best friends, he was a football player. And he always ragged on me. Oh, you play that sissy sport. It's not tough at all, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, dude, let me put you through a workout, and let's see who has the tougher sport. I played football in high school. I know what it's like.
Yeah.
So let me put you through a swimming workout. And And like you said, when you got through the warm-up, like you knew how tough that was going to be, and I got him through the warm-up. He's like, man, that was intense. I was like, dude, that was the warm-up, bro. That's getting you ready for what we're about to do.
Yeah.
And,
no, she definitely modified it for me. I did not do the complete yardage, but I did enough to know that that was difficult.
No, I didn't modify it one bit for him at all. No, he was running his mouth. He's like, nope.
How long did it take him?
About an hour and a half.
Dang.
This was the second time doing, because I was in season when I did this with him. Like, Coach McGowan was just like, he was awestruck as I came back in like 2 hours after I'd already finished a practice. And he was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm going to do it again because he thinks what we do is easy. So I'm going to do it with him just to show him that, it's not that easy and not everybody can do it. Otherwise, everybody would be swimming at this college. He's like, are you sure? It's like, it's only going to make me better, coach. What? Yeah. So why not get a little extra work in?
Yeah.
And I finished in the hour, and so for the last half hour, I was just sitting on the edge of the pool, just like kicking my feet in the water. I was like, "Nope, you got another down and back, man. Keep going." Like,
yeah. And he probably still cut some off too, because I know I did. It was not easy.
He tried to cheat. He tried to be like, "Nah, dude, you missed it." I was like, "I've been watching you the whole time. Like, I'm faster than you." Like,
yeah.
So I definitely get that, and I always ask anybody who knows a swimmer if they've ever been put through a workout before, because it's intense.
It is.
So a little bit of a lighter note this year, too, as well. You were the homecoming queen at Bethany College. So what was that like? And take me through a little bit of that.
It was fun. I wanted to do it because my brother was the homecoming king at Westminster. So I was like, oh, what the heck? I'll do it. Or I want to try and do it too. So then you just kind of fill out the paperwork or whatever. And then I also was really excited to pick out my outfit. I know that sounds kind of like cliche, but my mom helped me pick out an outfit, and then it was fun. And my parents got to come down. The game was miserable. It rained the whole time, and it was freezing. But overall, it was a really fun experience.
Homecoming time in good old West Virginia. It's never good weather.
No, it wasn't. And I was with Coach Upton at his little tailgate thing or whatever, eating a piece of fried chicken. And it was still pouring. And I was like, well, I don't even know if it's worth doing my hair or anything, because it's just going to get destroyed the second I step out in the rain. But it was still fun.
Yeah, I mean, homecoming at Bethany is fun. I went back 2 or 3 years after I graduated just to go to the homecoming festivities, and the game, obviously. But I think we had good weather once in the 5 years that I was there.
Yeah.
And even after that, going back as an alumni, it's like, man, did I really go out in this crap weather and just... I never made the game when I was there, so I was always out tailgating in the parking lot, so I never made it past the tailgate. But
yeah, I like watching, it's fun whenever... Friday night of homecoming weekend was fun because there was a girls' soccer game, and then there was boys' soccer game. That was nice weather, and they had, free Chick-fil-A catered. And then I was like, ooh, tomorrow will be a fun day too. And then it just rained all day. And we lost to Teal, which is really sad.
Lost to Teal.
Yeah, we lost the teal by 1 point, but it's okay.
Yeah, Teals, yeah, they're tougher than they were when I was there back a decade ago. Yeah, is when I graduated, was in 2012. So
yeah,
it hurts to say a little bit knowing how long I've been out of college.
Yeah. Wait, 10 years. Yeah, I guess it was 10 years. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was 10 years in May of this year. Made 10 years since I graduated from Bethany College.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm old.
I feel old, though. I mean, I was, like, looking back at some of my memories from, like, freshman year, and I was like, what the heck? How am I going to graduate in 5-6 months? That doesn't seem real.
It never does, especially at Bethany. Like, when you're the leading up to it, it's like, there's no way. Like, how is this going to happen in this short amount of time? And once it's done, it's the best day in the world, graduating at Bethany College.
Yeah.
Getting to walk through the archway again and the gates and everything like that, and just the whole ceremony about it. We had a nice weather day. We actually got to do it outside, which made it a little bit better, although it was May and it was like 70-something degrees, no clouds, and we were wearing black gowns. So it was like, all right, we're getting a little winded. Let's speed it up.
Yeah.
Sweating through everything here. So that was the only downside. But you're also involved into a sorority at Bethany. Which sorority are you a part of?
I'm a part of Phi Mu.
Phi Mu, right next door to my fraternity, Delt.
Oh, yeah?
I was a Delt, yes. And I hear things have changed a little bit since I've been at Bethany. And did the Delts actually become close to winning the Smart Cup in Greek Week? Or did somebody lie to me?
I don't know. I don't think they've won it, like, since I've been there. I think Phi Tau and Beta have, like, gotten it in rotation since I've been there. Yeah. But I don't know, like, what the ranking is. Like, they could have been close second or third. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I still am a part of the Bethany Delts Facebook group, and every now and again, it'll pop up on my news feed, and I could have swore, I was like, wait, no, you're telling me that Delt, the same Delt that I was a part of, almost won the Smart Cup or won the Smart Cup, like that. We weren't even close when I was there. There was a lot more fraternities, but we were always in that bottom third of it every year.
Hey, that's okay.
We had a lot of fun, though. 5 years I was there, we were 5-time Greek Week champions. So we put more pride into that than we did the Smart Cup.
Take the wins where you can.
We did. And we realized that it was one Saturday afternoon, me and a couple of the brothers were sitting around, and for whatever reason, we never decided we were going to do this. We all just grabbed a deck of cards and started flicking them and trying to make them into hats. And we didn't stop until we made the entire 52 deck of cards in one shot. And I was like, guys, do you realize we just spent 3 hours doing this is going to get us nowhere. Like, this is a useless task that we've now mastered and know how to do. Where is this going to get us? And they were just like, I don't know, but it was fun. I was like, yeah, you're right. What else do we do? And, like, that's what we did in our, off time, is we did stupid things. And I'm, like, a master of, like, dumb things. And just for lack of a better term. It
makes for a good memory. You still remember it, so that counts.
Because I blew my son's mind because I told him I could flick a card and I could make it go into a hat. And he was like, no, you can't. I was like, give me a deck of cards. And I did like 10 in a row. He was like, how did you do that? I was like, I spent 3 hours one day in college.
You mastered it.
And like, then we would take like our hats and try to flip them and land them perfectly on our head. Like, that's what we did. And then to hear, wait, that house almost won the Smart Cup. So it's a little different than when I was there.
I like the Delts though. It's a fun time at Delt.
Always a fun time at Delt, for sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, Danny, we are running down near the end of the episode. I do have to get this segment in because if I don't, Johnny will kill me. And I know you've listened to the episode, so I know you know what's coming. And it is the Fast Fitty Five. 5 random questions from the wonderful manager of the podcast, Johnny Fitty Falcone. And if for the new listeners, these are kind of rapid fire, but you can elaborate if you need to. Knowing Johnny, you're going to need to elaborate on some of these. But he just sent these to me like an hour before we were going to record today, so we're going to be reading these for the first time together here.
Okay.
So if you're ready,
I'm ready.
All right. Where would you rather live, South Carolina or Oklahoma?
Definitely South Carolina. I like the beach.
Okay. Which is a better place to live, Erie, PA, or Myrtle Beach, South Carolina?
Oh gosh.
I'm starting to see a theme
this is
here.
hard. I don't know. I think I'd have to say Erie.
Erie. All right. I'll take it. Question number 3. Are sunflower seeds overrated or underrated?
Underrated. I love sunflower seeds. I can eat a whole bag.
I'd have to agree with that. I have a strange obsession with them too as well. So I get it. Oh, this one looks like a typical Johnny question. All right, number 4. Which is a better Christmas gift? A $100 gift card to your favorite restaurant or a $100 gift card to a gas station?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I'd have to say gas because, like, you always need gas. Like, sometimes you don't go to your favorite restaurant very often. I think gas. Yeah, gas.
Yeah. All right. Question number 5. What is one word to describe Pennsylvania?
I'm going to say cold. Cold. You can make that what you want. It's just cold.
Yep. I'll agree. As someone who grew up an hour away from Pittsburgh, I get it. I live in Ohio, in the middle of Ohio now. It sucks here. It's so cold all the damn time. Well, that was the Fast Fitty 5. I think he took it a little easy on you. Knowing you
sometimes when I listen to it, he'll say people that I don't know who they are, and I was hoping I wouldn't get somebody that I didn't know who it was, but yeah. I knew this one. So. He
definitely took it easy on you. I think he gives me basically a Fast Fitty 5 every day through text. He comes up with these random questions. It drives my wife insane. She's just is that Fitty again? I'm yeah, you want to hear this one? And it was the dumbest thing. We were talking about the Lions head coach and how much of an absolute animal this guy is. And he was all right, who wins in a fight, Motor City, Dan, and I can't even remember who it was, but it was some nobody. And I was just oh, that's a doozy. I'm going to have to go with the Lions coach. The dude's he looks like a psycho. I'm just it's just he gives these to me all the time. The latest one, and we'll wrap up the show. This just popped into my head too. He asked me, who wins in a fight? 3 grown ass men versus 100 chickens. And as somebody who's raised chickens, I went chickens.
Yeah.
Those things, they look nice, and Kelly, they're mean. They're the meanest things on the planet.
That's definitely a Falcone question. He drove me to Myrtle for freshman year, track spring break trip, and I sat up front with him, and so I got 8 hours of these questions and his music, and it was a good time.
8 hours of vintage Fitty. That's
it was awesome.
Well, all right, Dani, this is the end of the episode. I give every guest this opportunity at the end of the show, so I'm going to give you about a minute. The floor is yours. Anything you want to get out there, or even if it's just a good message, the floor is yours.
I'm not really good at this stuff, but I guess just work for what you want and follow your dreams.
Hey, you know what? It was short, sweet, and to the point. I like it. I'll accept it. I kind of like putting people on the spot like that at the end of the show because you get to see true colors to them. But it's just another fun way that I like to end the show. So that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. I want to thank Dani Williams for joining me here today. This was a lot of fun. And got to talk Bethany College, which I'm always fun for. As always, if you enjoyed the show, be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell them anyways. They might like it just because you didn't. That's going to do it for me, and I will see y'all next week. The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Dubby Energy. Energy drinks made for gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. For gamers, streamers, and podcasters alike. Go to the link in the description where you can find the best energy drinks out there. Less caffeine than a cup of coffee. Also, no jitters and no crash afterwards. Use the promo code Mike Bono and get yourself 10% off. Also, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by my favorite sponsor of the show, and that is Shankit Golf. Golf apparel made for the everyday golfer. We might not go out and shoot a 6 under par. We're probably going to shoot a 6 over par, but this is going to give us the gear that's going to help us rocket on and off of the course. Go to the link in the bio, use the promo code Mike Bono, and get yourself 10% off there as well.